Yes, look, we're keeping the ball on the ground!
Yes,
Little ginger freaks no here.
Slaney's never looked better, mate. Best he's looked.
You've bossed him off this main podcast, mate, I love it.
Well, somebody gave him a shout the other day. They looked like Floyd for Dumb and Dumber, so...
He's spitting him his by mate.
Yeah.
Top goal scorer in the Lowland League sitting right here, mate.
Aye.
What a player.
Second half, mate.
5 weeks you've turned into the main man.
Never anywhere near the box at any fucking club he's been at. Now we've seen the proper Kirk Broadfoot man, man.
He's actually scored 3.
3
Mate,
and
he was on
5,
the right
mate.
wing, he was
Aye.
up fucking centre forward.
You never did a ratio like that, 3 and 5.
No chance.
And by the way, what a goal it is.
Cheers,
That was a great goal.
Gaffer. Cheers. Appreciate
No worries,
that.
mate.
Yeah, it's his
I
birthday.
need to watch what I'm
See-
saying here.
it's my-
No, he didn't go for it. He didn't.
yeah.
This is away for the football. Birthday boy, you know.
I know.
48.
Happy birthday, mate.
48.
48 today,
48.
brilliant, man. But Slaney's been demoted because we're 2-0 down Saturday, sitting on the bench. My head's fucking gone. How are we two doing here? Go down, sit next to him. I'm like that. Need to change something. Need to go 4-4-2. Need to go for it. He's like that. Do you know how we'll lose control in the middle of the pitch? I was like, fuck the middle of the pitch. We're getting beat fucking 2-0.
That's what he said to you. For fuck's sake.
Change 4
Can we go and win 3-2?
He is
Oh,
so funny,
boy.
that boy, man.
Mate, funny as well. So Frankie's obviously a ball boy. You lifted Dell's fucking knocked him out,
Aye.
innit? And then he's lifted him up with celebration, so he was buzzing. But I didn't take my phone out with us when the game's playing. So but he's got a phone now. He just got it 2 weeks ago for his first birthday. So I go back in at the office after the game, look at my messages, 2 messages for Frankie. So the second goal must have went in about 15 minutes. So I get a text like 10 past 4 going that just says rubbish. So he's sitting as a ball boy rubbish. And then after their goal, we scored, it must have been 70 odd. So it was like 20-5. I get another text saying, can you send that picture of me and Broadfoot?
I didn't notice it was him as well. Del
can't
proper
really
shoulder him, didn't he?
Does him a belter, mate.
Mate, I've got to say though, I thought you were very good at the weekend. First 20 minutes, brilliant. Last 25 of the first half, bit shaky. But then second half, I always felt you were going to come back and win the game. If he's got that first goal early enough,
Yep.
I thought
Just
you were
do you see
going to
just the
come
way
back.
things were going to when that first goal went in? I was like, what can you do,
No,
man?
especially how you started the game, because you were really good. That's the most like control I felt you've had. Maybe
Yeah.
Cowdenbeath's second half I thought was excellent as well, but you were in complete control and then they break out a pitch first chance and score. So that's a decent
So I was
finish,
ready
to
for
be fair.
chucking it, mate. See when the second went in, I was at Sam chucking this.
Berwick were... Berwick, I don't know how Berwick got 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Because they didn't do any like major passages of play that you thought, oh fucking these are a decent side. They just, I think these kind of just
But they've got a good character.
No,
that
they
team,
have,
innit?
they
Liam
have.
Buchanan,
I like
Scobie,
the
they've-
experience
I think they've got a
boys,
good
yeah.
the
experience
manager, I
boys,
like the manager, big
Malky.
Malky, he's a nice big guy, but showed great character, good substitutions at the right times, and
Dell's a freak, isn't he? 41.
Aye.
Oh,
Freak,
unbelievable.
mate.
He's a
gonna
monster
say-
with his tap half, by the way.
I know, yes, he's ripped. I was going to say, talk about experience, your average age of that team was about 53 at the end of that game, wasn't it?
Imagine he come on as well.
Tell you what, Kev, went to the first team training on Thursday. You were unbelievable.
No,
weren't
so
you?
that's what I was going to ask you. So see, in case I do get the sack and I need to go back to play for a team next year, tell about the performance in
Mate,
training on
I
Thursday.
swear
You
to
missed
God,
it, bro.
I
You weren't here.
I've never seen you as good as that. Back when you were
You need to show
21.
them, didn't you? You need to show them.
Mate, it was unbelievable.
Aye.
You wouldn't have been training, would you?
Aye,
Because you were
because I
doing
was
recovery.
50,
It was
aye.
unbelievable.
that's why I can't understand why you're not playing.
I'm not there to play a play.
Mate, you were
mate.
so good.
What's 10 or what? I can't
I
just
had to
jump in
bring
and
this
play.
up, but
Fucking
the
course
training
you can.
session
The
before
performances
that,
are
somebody
put
came
in.
into our box.
Oh, this guy.
He pegged us, mate. I thought he was undroppable, mate, but for that split second, he was fucking sitting on the bench on the Saturday, mate.
Bear in mind,
What's up to this guy, mate? Scoring goals, Megan
Mate,
what are you talking about? You've been megged as well.
That's what Blackpool.
Aye.
Couple of times.
Meg's my thing,
Mate, that's what, you didn't realise how much you can play.
I'm a bear maid, mate. I don't get me. Never.
But
Telling
mate,
you.
Dell 41, man.
I know.
What an example of young Peter, eh?
I think
He's half his sale, didn't he?
Aye.
He's proper fit.
I see him up the gym every day, mate. Valentine's, I go up and Dell's always fucking battering it on the cross trainer.
Is he? Aye.
he does
Hits
still
the
look
bag.
fit.
Oh, mate.
But even his
Biggest
pass to
shoulders,
even his
chap.
pass to you is a joke, mate.
Oh, mate, unbelievable.
Just slides
We
into
reverse
it.
that.
Because he said that you said when you came on, Dell, I'll slide into you.
Aye.
And then he's
He
fucking
does it
slid
to
into you. So where did that? Why were you in the box at that stage?
I think
The
that-
corner came in.
It was a second.
Trying to think it.
No. So I'd went one of my stupid runs up the right wing and it get played wide. So I thought, right, I'm getting in the box. And I just ran in the box and they get away.
Because I think we crossed it at first, did you know?
Aye, and Gaz makes a great tackle.
Tackle, yeah.
And it's a second phase.
Aye.
And then it just
Because
gets through.
that tackle was massive because they were breaking
Aye.
3v2. Gaz wins it in the middle of the pitch. And I think, is it Matty plays it into you?
Yeah, aye.
Yeah.
And then you put it into Dell.
But that's
In
what we
the
done
corner
better
goal.
Saturday than we have in the previous games. When the ball came out, our midfielders were there.
Nice and
winning
tight.
it back. I think Regan done it the first game, wound up getting a goal for it on
That's
commentary. I think Regan done it the first game, wound up getting a goal for it. I'm sure you mentioned it on
right,
commentary. But the East Kilbride game, we were terrible at it.
Aye.
Too many times they got turned and hit us on the counter where Saturday the boys were on it. But I need to tell the story about one of the trialists. So
Oh.
one of the trialists, he'll tell you himself he's a wee bit heavier than what he wants to be. So I texted him before training saying, get out 30 minutes early and me and you will go for a jog around the pitch. I want to get to know you. So jogging around the pitch, he's been at good clubs and stuff like that. And I said, I just went, honestly, I went, so how have you got to this? He's like, I've no idea, man. He's like, my diet's actually really good. And I went like, right, talk us through a typical day's diet then. And he's like, right, well, breakfast I'll have Weetabix. And I was like, right, decent start. He says 2 Weetabix. And I'll go like, and do you like snack before your dinner and your lunch and that? He goes, aye, packet of crisps.
But you said you could see in his face that he was trying to hink you a line on.
No, he was trying to get someone
be
help me.
honest, he's like,
Packet of crisps.
Protein Chris, isn't it?
Low fat snacker jacks.
What a boy he is. Keeping the ball on the ground, Grosvenor Sport, who wants to take it away?
go on, Kev.
Go on, Andy. Now, sign up for Grosvenor Sport, bet £5 and get a £25 in free bets on any sport. Sign up at gsport.com/open goal.
My mate texted me saying he had a fiver on me for top goal scorer in the league, 10,000 to 1.
Wow.
No way. And what
Get a
have you
chance,
got?
mate.
Nah, impossible, mate.
Get him on the pens.
It's impossible.
You can start taking the pens, they bother.
Aye.
Mate, we didn't, what am I talking about? We didn't get a penalty.
Aye, well,
Aye, true.
to be fair, there was definitely one at the weekend, I remember. Pitch doesn't help his, by the way.
Dry.
Aye, it was like somebody said it was like Slaney's face. Just a bit poor.
What, the flaky bits and the dry bits?
I need to say,
Bumpy bits.
the 20s you're doing, you're enjoying it.
Good, aye, mate. Friday, listen,
Beatman
it's all
choice.
been good. Even wee periods where it's not been great. Been really happy with the reaction, but we knew that Montrose was going to be a good test for us on Friday, and boys were superb. First goal, man. Like I've said to Si like loads of times, I'm doing my badges now, but I don't know if I want to be a coach after when I finish, because
You're
you'll know
definitely a coach,
yourself when
mate.
you're playing football and you've got a club, you need to move about family and whatnot. So if I start a family when I finish football, I don't want to be that person that's moving about all the time, but see coaching these boys, mate, and like that first goal especially, because we'd worked on a certain partner play on Wednesday. Our first goal comes for that partner play and you're sitting on the side like that. How rewarding did that feel, do you know what I mean? And the reaction with the boys to the goal, and honestly, I'm really enjoying it. Boys are class.
Would you have seen a coach in him when he was a player when you were at Blackpool? Yeah?
To be fair, aye.
Uh-huh.
Andy wasn't scared to speak his mind, and I think leaving coming as you were pretty young when you came to Blackpool, weren't you?
Aye, I would have been.
And there was some big characters there. Andy was straight up giving his opinion straight away. Which, aye, it was good.
His brothers to say.
Well, I coach on the pitch, but I wouldn't say me and him were coach well for half the price, to be fair, because that 6 month I
What
had
was
at
that, stag
Blackpool.
do at Blackpool, was
Mate,
it?
it's by far the craziest 6 months of my career, mate.
How? Just
I,
going out of town?
I was going to Blackpool, right? Obviously, it was a hard period at Middlesbrough at times, so I was on the bench every week. I told you I was
I don't know
never
if I should
getting on.
talk about this.
I'm not going into too much detail, but never getting on. Constantly in Boggle, I need to go and loan something, I need to play. Like, he's like, you're on the bench. I was like, but I've not played a minute. Gets me to go to Blackpool, I'm like, do you know what, buzz and just go get a game of football and enjoy my football again. But that's 6 months. Mate, Thursday night.
Did you not stay in the
Thursday nights-
chairman's hotel?
Aye, in the hotel.
Did you meet him?
We'd be
Royal
going
Oyster?
out. Aye, with his cowboy hat on at the time. He was mental, him. He was actually mental, mate. He
You
walked about
scored
with like
your
5
debut?
birds, wasn't he?
Aye.
Aye.
He's walking with 5 bucks.
Aye. Mate, he's old guy, must have been like 60 odd, he'd walk about with just 5 birds.
You know,
What a hero.
aye, worldies.
Aye.
Aye.
Young.
Was it a wig he had? His hair was all weird, wasn't it?
No.
Was he not a weird
He
looking
was
guy?
building
Nah?
a penthouse up above the restaurant at the stadium.
Aye.
He
was,
loved
aye.
it.
Aye.
He had a penthouse at the top.
Penthouse.
That was him.
stadium?
Going to the pitch.
What a hero.
He looks like the guy for that Tiger King.
Did he do
Remember that Tiger King?
Uh-huh.
Spitting image of him.
Yeah, and some of this, the myth about Blackpool, did Blackpool stop paying players wages during the summer?
We did when I was we were
that's
there.
right.
Aye.
Because I remember being offered to go to Blackpool before I went to Kilmarnock, and they says, "I but we don't pay you for 6 weeks the whole. We pay you just basic rate."
You get all your wages on that 11 month though. That
so
was
it's
pretty
fucking
clever
up.
for the
Aye.
chairman though, because in England you get paid to September. So say you were at Blackpool and you just sat about for 3 months, they would have had to pay you full wage to September. So the chairman's like, no, in your contract you're getting 60 quid a week or something that the month, so you have to go and sign with somebody.
You'd got extra though, donkey rides on the beach.
That's quite good for you. That's decent for you.
You couldn't have got the Pepsi Max for that now, could you?
No
That's
chance.
coming fucking close.
I know he's out.
I'm going to be a mate. You've got to be just look. You've got to be strand hanging down.
Ever.
Just push it up.
Mate, I was genuinely like, I don't know if I can sign there, it's too windy. Any action shots I'm fucked.
So who was that when Fergie and Bob? Were you there when Bob and Dobie were fighting?
Aye.
Aye,
Remember?
that's right, aye.
What game was that?
Burnley on Sky. That put... Did Burnley go up after that game? Was that to get them promoted?
Something like that, aye. That was on the touchline, the scrap.
That's right. It was something about Dobie going on and then Bob telling me he wasn't going on or something.
Because Baz was playing, Baz was on the pitch.
Bannon?
No,
Fergie.
Oh, Fergie, right.
So Fergie had obviously went to the bench and said like, oh, Dobbs, get ready, Dobbs is coming on. Then like 2 minutes later, Baz like, nah, Dobbs isn't coming on. And then Dobbs lost it at the bench to him and Paul
So who else was there? You two, Gary McKenzie.
Obviously,
We travelled,
or
aye.
Scottish based. So we had a Wednesday off and a Sunday.
Aye.
So after every Tuesday session, after every game, we'd drive up the road. But that's what I was going to say. We would go, not all the time, but we went out a couple of Thursday nights in Preston, 2 days before the game. And
It's because we were bored.
aye,
weren't we?
bored, because you're just in a hotel all the time. But even no drinking,
Has the
that,
sleeping
just go
tablet
out.
story been told on here before?
Aye.
Aye.
Do you mind that?
Aye,
We all
well,
get a time back for London.
aye, you're a machine, mate, to be fair.
What, drinking?
Drinking and sleeping tablets.
But I got addicted to sleeping tablets there, mate. Genuinely. Because the hotel was so noisy, wasn't it?
Oh,
So see nights before games and that.
Couldn't
Big
sleep.
Royston having parties in the penthouse. So I need a sleeping tablet.
Alright, we'll come on to Brothers Career in a bit, but we'll talk about the Edinburgh Derby for the weekend. Martin Boyle snatched the last minute equaliser. Kev, is it justified? Fair enough, the draw?
I think on reflection, I think a draw would be
I
fair.
was actually impressed with Hibs. I thought
Hibs
they're better
had
than
a
what I
good
thought
first
they'd be.
half. Hart sat back a few times. Craigie made a good save for the diving head, not diving header, but the ball cost the keeper. Craigie's made a good save, but as much as Hearts had some good chances in the second half, Hibs also had some decent chances in the first half. But on the balance of play, Hibs are alright. I just think the Martin Boyle goal is too easy. It's like up the park and the big boy.
Fair thrown, isn't it? It's fair thrown.
Johan.
Is it? He just chists it down, lays it off, plays it in, and it's too easy. Then when it goes wide,
He's so sharp though, Boyle, isn't he?
I know he's quick, but when it goes wide, that's where you want your defenders to be tight onto Martin Boyle. You're allowing Martin Boyle to come into the box, no marked, and he's tapped it in. And listen, it's a crazy scenes at the end, obviously, but that's what happens when you're so far behind your rivals.
Could you
A
smell the
point's
cash off?
huge.
Could you smell the cash off of Martin Boyle?
No, but he is wedged.
He's got to be wedged now,
Is
isn't
he paid up?
Gucci
he?
boots on the head.
Gucci
boots.
Once he get the ballot sorted, I know mine doesn't great, but his looks terrible on Sky.
Jinx, I think his looks alright.
What's he done? He's had a transplant.
He's had a transplant,
has he? Aye.
Uh-huh.
Maybe we need to give him a text.
It's
Ask him when he got it
right.
done.
Mr. Aylan's like he's done next, isn't it?
It's definitely better than me. But I probably agree. I thought first half quite frantic, typical Derby, but Hibs maybe just edged it just a bit. But you know, second half, I thought we were the better team in the second half. I think obviously you go in 1-0 up at half time. I think the chances we've had, I mean, you scored at least one of them. You're pretty comfortable going into the rest of the game. But that's why Hibs signed David Marshall. Makes 2 massive saves. That double save's unbelievable. Because I actually I'm thinking to Baz when it comes back to it first time, but then Baz takes a great touch, sets himself up.
Yeah.
And see when you watch the replay, it's a ridiculous save. Because sometimes it looks as if it's like just hit half a goal really, but it makes himself big, flings his arm at it. And obviously when it's only 1 goal in it, I think it's just natural because it wasn't a game plan yours to just then sit back, but you know what it's like, last couple of minutes
Always
you're 1-0 up
happens,
and you're just automatic, just sinking in. But to be fair, from your point of view, it is a poor goal to concede. And I think we've been pretty honest at the fact that we were going there to win.
That was Saturday, Dale at 3-2 up. He's like, well, we'll just sit back. I was like, fuck sitting back. Fuck that, score another goal, man.
They'll drop back in. All I could hear was you shouldn't get that pad.
Barry Mackay, was he a young boy at Rangers with you, brothers? No.
Aye.
He's a joke just now, isn't he?
I thought he was good when he was young.
Was he?
But he backs himself up. Does he
Aye,
still
mate,
go
he's
with
got
that?
confidence, man. Yeah,
Because
he's got
he said to Mo Adu, I'll take you in a race any day. Him and Mo Adu are racing.
I was racing about the training ground.
Aye.
He must have won.
Fast.
Baz is
Baz
fast.
beat
He's
Mate,
fast.
he's a level above just now, I think.
He has definitely took his game to another level because at Rangers he was still really good. I always felt he had a future there with Robbie, but it was more just consistency like any young winger. But now he's just playing with so much consistency, mate. His numbers are good. Probably needs to add a few more goals, but he got 14 assists last year. He's already started with a goal and assist this year.
Did Kelly not let him go?
Aye, when he was younger, too small. Too small. Aye.
No. Who was the manager calling it?
Steve Leclerc.
No, it was
I don't know.
It wasn't. It was the thing about Robertson.
Graham Robertson.
The youth team guy.
Graham
Alan.
Robertson.
Oh, is that right?
I'm sure it was, 'cause
were you at Kelly at the time, Kev? Do you remember him as a kid?
No, I think Jamie, my brother-in-law, was at command at the same around a similar time, possibly, but he let go because there was something, I think Rangers paid compensation for him. It wasn't a lot, it was peanuts. There was him and somebody else.
What's your favourite type of peanuts?
Oh, salt and vinegar. Anybody can eat a full pack of the large pack of salt and vinegar for doing well. Because they fucking nip the tongue right off you. But no, Barry Mackay for me, even I was at Rangers the early days with you, but he fast, but see his technical ability with the ball.
He's unbelievable.
That pinging the ball.
He's
obviously his assist, no look, good pace, good flight of the ball, straight in the path of Shankland. But no, like you say, Andy, his numbers are good, but he probably could add a few more goals. I think Sunday when the ball got played through to him, he tried to take it past one of the Hibs defenders, but if he maybe on his left foot and shot with his left foot, he might have had more opportunities. But nah, good player.
And is that true? Robbie Neilson does his full tactics on Lawrence Shankland's forehead.
He's got a big 40.
I seen it. I was like, the fucking size. But
Shanks takes his goal well.
takes his goal really well.
As much
on
as
the
it's a good
shoulder.
ball for Baz, that's not an easy.
No.
That's not an easy first touch when it's coming across your
And
shoulder.
then he flick it the way he did. He didn't even take it with his left because I was like, how do you your left?
Yeah.
To be honest, I thought quite a lot of our players done well, to be fair, but it's no easy to lead the line yourself on a.
He was good in defending corners and stuff like that as well, Shankland for you, wasn't he?
The one that he sort of clears it. I know it's not off the line really, but I can't remember who it was for Hibs. It's there at the back post. They tap it in, and Shanks clears it. So I think everyone played their part over the piece. I thought we edged it in terms of chances, but like I said, we obviously went there to win. So disappointed we never won, but.
That was the two goalies. That was the PlayStation story, wasn't it? The snooker.
Aye.
Check the smoke about it. You heard that, brother?
Oh, mate.
I'll tell you. If it's been told too many times, I'll tell you off camera. Celebrations at the end, Kev. You think it was too much for your old rivals?
Listen, it's great to score a last-minute equaliser because you feel as though you've gained something, but for 2 games out of the season, you get fucking fans running out the park. It's a bit. I suppose when we look at reflection, your boy ran out the park Saturday for Broomhill with a 3-2. So you might agree with it because obviously Frankie's run a bit mad on Saturday, but for me, listen, I think it's no down to the fact it's over the top. I think it's the fact it was Martin Boyle.
Yeah.
He's made this big comeback, having left the club last season and come back. I think it's just the emotion last minute, because at that minute in time, I think even Andy Walker called it in Sky that Hearts have done enough to see this game out, and then sure enough up the park and back down to get the goal, and it is a bit much, but
4 points for Hibs at the first 2. Not a bad start considering their League Cup form. Do you think they could do alright this year, brothers?
I think they'll do better than last year, definitely.
Yeah.
It'll be really hard. But do you think if Hearts scored an equaliser last minute, would you?
But Hearts have done that.
Like, sometimes you would like a good wee opportunity to have a dig at somebody, but nah, I can still accept it. It's a last minute at a derby. There's going to be.
Hearts done it there years ago. Ozturk scored 92nd minute and fans were going wild for a draw at Easter Road. But I think it's maybe a wee bit different when you're the home team. You're the one that's expected to win now.
Yeah.
Aye.
Mackay Stevens is like that on the bench, isn't he? Shiny himself.
Just even the chips were getting chucked at Alex Cotton.
No. Oh, I did see that.
He goes, "That's that couscous." Take his fork out his pocket.
What are those? What are the chips? What are chips?
Oh, gosh.
Hearts draw for the Europa League. Andy, what do you make it? Excited?
I've decent. Obviously, the last round of Europa, you're going to get tough fixture no matter what. I think Zurich are 2-0 up for the first leg, aren't they? So it looks as if we're probably going to face them. Did well in the competition last year. To be fair, I'm kind of happy. I've not actually played that many games in Europe, probably only between 10 and 15, but there's 4 potential opponents that I played against. So I don't want any of them, because you want to play a different team in a new country or something. So I take
Where did you need to go?
Fancy our chances.
The UEFA Cup final, do you remember the early qualifiers where you had to go?
Aye, it was Red Star, I think.
That's his arsehole.
Mate.
That's what you call his arsehole. Have you been there? How was it?
I can smell it.
My dad says that's the best. That's the best.
He just said that.
1-0 we went. Nacho scored in the first leg, whenever. Grinded a 0-0 shock.
My dad says that's the best atmosphere he's ever been to.
There's been a few
What,
No, at Red Star.
Alright, over there, huh?
Mental.
Aye.
We had to wait 2 hours after the game because they would do the bus in.
Would they?
Wait for
Oh,
everyone.
Did that get quite angry, Kev, huh?
Depends how some people approach it, Si.
So then did that put you into the group stages, brothers? Or was it
No,
not
that put us into the Champions League.
Oh, right.
And then we finished third, and that's when we went to the UEFA Cup for that.
Right.
Because our group was a joke then.
Aye.
It was Barcelona, Spanish champions, Stuttgart, German champions, Lyon, French champions.
Fucking hell, man. And you were competing?
Aye, we were top after 3 games.
Dashville misses a sitter. The last group game
Aye.
to put them through. It was going to end up getting beat 3-0, but that was to make it 1 each at a time.
That's
wasn't
right,
it?
aye.
So did you play in all the games against all the big teams?
No, none them all. At that point, I was in and out the team because Hutz was still here, really. And you had Carlos and Davy Weir, so I was benched, coming on, seeing out games, and then obviously Hutz left and I played every minute of every game in the European run. So, just great experiences, as you say. You see, to go to these stadiums, even to train the night before on the pitches,
Aye.
on the New Camp training. By the way, it's the biggest pitch in the world.
New Camp.
New
is
Camp.
it?
Bam.
What's a Walter Smith team talk like before a new camp? Did you say much? Nah.
No, the gaffer never said much. We all done it in the video the day before, but he was the best at how a game was going. See, coming in at half time, this is how the game's going, and see if we do this, we'll win the game. See if we don't do this, we'll lose the game. And he was the best I've seen at sitting up and coming down and saying how a game would go, and I swear to God it would go that way.
Oh, that's
All on
brilliant.
how a game with just what he's seen.
What he's seen,
Aye.
how it would go the best.
It is,
bar none.
like you say, when I sit and watch you on the weekend, it's totally different seeing it from up in the stand. What you might see compared to what I'm seeing, it's like you should just maybe try it one Saturday morning for a bit of advice.
I couldn't do that.
No.
Man. You need to be on the side.
Let
Aye.
Slaney shout midfield, sort it out.
Imagine that. I'd just be sitting fucking in the fear what he's shouting. Like,
Slaney gave me a shout after the game on Saturday that you're the touchline like Fergie at Clyde.
that's what he says to me. You're starting to like fair girls that I need to fucking
You're
stop,
a
man.
90 man, but aren't you?
I know, it's so hard to me.
How many games in then it'll be before he sees red on the touchline?
Oh, mate, I don't know how that linesman never sent me up Saturday, mate.
Aye.
He was fucking getting it, honestly.
You're due a red card.
100%. Rangers bounced back as well, shocked defeat in Europe, beat Kelly at home. Morelos back, massive for the minute that Morelos is back. Look, a different team when he comes on.
Aye, massive. To be fair to the boy Cholak, I think it's fair to say he's not started unbelievable. Like he's not got everyone talking, but
He's not up winning. He's not up winning.
otherwise, for an offside call, it could have went either way. It could be 2-2. So he does look, to be fair, as if he does get chances, he could score goals. But I don't think there's any doubt that Rangers are a better team than Alfredo Morelos on the pitch. He's somebody they've relied on for, is that 4 or 5 seasons now? So I think for this USG game, it's going to be tough because I thought they looked very good last week, even though Rangers were, it's probably the poorest I've seen Rangers since that Progress game, whatever it was 6 years ago. But they actually did look decent, and you've got to feel that Rangers certainly, they definitely have a chance to go through, but you do feel that percentage is higher if Alfredo's on the pitch.
Morelos is playing.
You play against him a couple of times, brothers, Morelos.
Aye, a few times.
How is he?
Very good. We had a few battles, to be fair.
Did he give you a bit?
Is he strong?
Aye, he's very strong.
Aye,
He
'cause
could
he
be
just
too tight to roll you. Nobody moves him. Nobody moves him. He could be the difference, I think, for the qualifying. in my
Do you think he
opinion.
goes straight into the starting team?
Aye, 100%. Even if he only lasts an hour. Because with the crowd behind him, get that early goal, try and get the game back. But seeing the other point of the new boy, you know what it's like going to the Old Firm. It takes time. You look at Lundstrom last year.
Yeah,
Lundstrom
yeah,
taking
true.
6 months, and then all of a sudden you could have said he was Rangers' best player come the end of the season.
Aye.
It takes time to adapt because people don't realise what it's like to play with the Old Firm, the scrutiny, everything that comes with no just playing football. It takes a wee while to adapt.
You see, when you were having it with Morelos, was there vocals as well, or was it just physical?
No, because he didn't speak good
I was
English.
going to say,
did
do
he?
you speak Spanish?
No, he didn't speak.
He just looks like a
even
madman, though.
there was one we were walking off the pitch because the ball was away. And he gives you a bit of this. He stamps right in my foot after the ball, and the half time goes, and I'm like, nah, head's gone.
I've seen that before.
I just walk him and stamp right back on walking up. He turns around and cracks me.
No chance.
We both could put it in front of the panel. And we both got halfway.
Where did he hit? What, just nerves?
No, it's to the dish.
No way.
Aye.
Mate, he's mental, mate.
What did you do?
I've rolled about in the ground as if I was deep. Honestly, the stick I came for Rangers fans all of this is
Oh, did you?
unbelievable.
I can't remember it. Can you?
I can't remember it either.
Where was it, Rugby
Even-
Park?
No, it was at Ibrox.
Was it?
Aye. And even,
Was that a good dig, or was it?
just one of the wee an actual swing into it. It's like,
That's so good. I've lost it. I've seen that face.
I know,
He texts me, he's like, say whatever you, just leave me alone.
He's got that animal strength for
You
that.
can
You're
see it in his
different
face,
stage.
mate.
You used to batter the gym, to be fair.
that's
all the
not
time.
me.
That's what I wanted to. I forgot. Tell me about your pre-match. What he does before a match, mate. He does a fucking full workout before a game, man. The boys are like, oh, fuck.
But like upper body session and that.
Aye, well, right. I'm at the age now where I need to get going.
Aye.
So if I don't do it, I don't feel ready.
2-day warm up.
Aye.
2-day warm-up.
2-day warm-up.
What, you did dips on it, didn't you?
Oh, if there's
There's a gym
bit I
about
can do
it,
it, aye. Press ups, plank,
Just
squats.
pencil anybody.
Is that in his contract? You got a membership at the gym as well at Broadway?
Yeah, but bro, that was it wasn't before, but when he signed up, I was like, get that fucking gym
But
sorted.
see,
now.
generally, see Blackpool, right? So if we'd sometimes go to the gym all together.
Who went to the gym?
I know. Me and Gaz would be sitting there.
I seen you take your top off before you came on yesterday.
To be fair, I'm in
You've got the
gas.
same diet
That
as me,
comes straight
Sims.
on me, aye.
What?
That's the camera come on me.
Right on you, mate. You had a wee bit of fluff in your Hugh Keevins fluff in your belly button.
That's a gutter.
Phase
that.
moustache.
That's a gutter.
No, like you, man.
See him and Gaz as a centre-half partnership that year in the championship. So it was what, second in the league or something up to January, something
Aye.
crazy.
Well, you were second in the championship.
Second in the championship up
Under
until January
Frankie?
or something
We
like that. No,
conceded
it was
the fewest goals up until January under Inns.
inside.
Was it? Was Ince good?
Aye, very good.
Was he? You liked Warnock as well, didn't you?
Aye, very good.
Where was he? Rotherham?
Rotherham, aye.
What
I
type
love
of character?
him, mate.
So did I
I
love
love him.
Warnock.
Mad. Never seen him till a Friday. Just came and done shape. It was Kevin Blackwell that done everything, but see if you get beat, mate. He's taking it so personal.
Aye.
This is my reputation that's on the line here. My reputation. Getting beat off this mob.
See the Neil Warnock documentary on YouTube, mate? It's incredible.
Oh.
You ever seen it?
Yeah, it's so good, mate.
Oh, it's so good.
What's the one where somebody's playing with their balls or something? He goes, I'm not fucking shaking your hand. You're playing with your balls.
No word of lie, he came here, right, and the kit man gave him dirty socks. Terrible socks. And he's having a meeting. He's like, your next fixtures is the top 6. What am I doing here? We have no chance. I can't even get a new pair of socks.
Clean socks.
No socks.
It's a documentary with the one with the Sheffield. And who was the striker? Was it
Danny Cadamante away in there, Danny, you make me sick or something?
Go away, you make me feel sick.
Did he ride his bike into training, Matt Eggs? He does that.
No,
He's done that with us,
no,
hasn't
it
he?
was too far.
Did you ever get a beer with him, brothers?
No.
Never,
It was just
nah.
to slaughter me.
Did he?
Oh, mate, I got it pelters every week.
For what? Just your performance?
Just to give the boys a lift. No, just not before the game.
What would he say?
Just don't leave this big man on the ball. If he's 1-on-1, we're fucked. And then he'd pull me after the team talk. You know, I'm just trying to lift the boys. You're my captain, you're the man. Get him going.
How's that lifting the boys? You'd be fucking deflated, man.
Because he knew I could take it. Like,
You must be able to get him on.
That's my first.
He's always up in
That's my team
Scotland.
talk Saturday. I'm getting you a Warnock. Fuck it. We'll get the boys going. I know. I'd love to get Warnock on.
He's always up
amazing.
here because he's not got like a.
He's got a
He's
place
got
out
hooks,
on
isn't he?
Lomond, aye.
Do you ever speak to him? Still speak to him, brothers? Nah.
Text him, get him on.
I text him. That'd be unbelievable.
Aye.
What a guy.
I
What a
think
side
he'd come
he's
on. He'd be brilliant on this.
He'd be unbelievable.
Mate, the stories you get out of him, yeah.
Oh, he's
Was Ince ever big time? Did he give any big time shouts?
He never really gave any, but he just had that presence, arrogance about him. You just knew.
Was it Alec Ray that was on?
Aye.
How was Alec?
Oh, well, never spoke much, just spat.
He loves a spit, mate, didn't he?
the llama.
Fucking-
Aye. Honestly, you didn't have the ball and he's shouting past before it's even at you.
That's the worst, isn't it?
Mate, that's,
Daddy's playing it to me and it's not even coming. Pass! Have I not got the ball?
mate, that's him when you've got the ball. He's already telling you to get tight. When you're on the ball, get tight! Press!
Oh, brilliant. Right, back to Rangers. What went wrong last Tuesday against USG? Who watched it?
I think it's.
You're playing.
I think that it's just early in the season for Rangers. I think it's no other. I think they need games. I think if you look last year with the momentum they got in the Europa League, the more games they played, the better they became Europa League. Whereas they've just been caught cold by this team. No really too much information on them. I think they were undefeated in 6 months or something.
Right.
I think they lost at the weekend.
Signed a couple of English-based boys as well, didn't
Aye,
they?
aye.
Keith Stanley and
I played with the
Portsmouth.
centre-half, Christian
Like Burgess signs at Portsmouth,
So
wasn't he?
they lost at the weekend, so they must have rested a few players, so they must be really fancy themselves for tomorrow night. But I think if Rangers can get an early goal and put them on the back foot, then it's a different type of pressure. But I think they've just caught Rangers cold. Rangers, a couple of new signings in the team and still probably try to find their feet. I think obviously Saturday, you look at the game against Kilmarnock as well, I don't think they were free-flowing football. I think there was parts of the game that were a bit, by going by what my mate said and that, but things weren't great. But they've managed to get the result, and tomorrow night that's all that matters, to try and get the result. I would think it'll be Morelos will give the fans, will give the crowd a boost, and I think that's what they're looking at.
Well, the type of show we've actually got somebody that's been in a similar situation. So you won you got to the final UEFA Cup final, and then the result in the qualifier lost to Kaunas.
So we did.
Do you remember it?
Aye.
And what is that doing? Is it are you a wee bit deflated maybe after losing a final, or does that not come into it?
You probably could say aye,
Yeah.
but I think it's a bit like we're expected to beat them, and you get a wee bit like no properly at it, because you've just came for a European final and you're into qualifiers. It shouldn't be, because you know what it's like at Rangers Celtic. You need to win every game, no matter what. But I think the Kelly game is a perfect game for them, because I think this USG will play exact same as Kelly did at the weekend. They'll just sit in and try and hit in the counter. So goals change games. If Rangers can get an early goal, I think you'll see a different Rangers team. But
Rangers need to watch the Broomhill game for the weekend, didn't they, for a bit of inspiration, mate?
Definitely.
Oh, you can see that at any level.
Exactly,
Any team
mate.
that sits in, it's hard to break down.
Aye.
And then as soon as you get one, but everyone's raving about your mad American pal, is it Tillmans?
Mate, he's definitely the one so far out of all the new signings that looks as if he's just got something a wee bit different, plays between the lines, always takes it on a half turn, which is something that we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
He just looks like a really clever player. See, even though he's probably had a few moments where nothing's really came off, he just looks like the type of player that will make a difference. See, to be fair, see if I was to compare him with any player I've sort of seen in Scotland, it's probably Tom Rodgick.
Right.
Looks very similar. That type of player. So he looks as if he could be a big player, but Rangers just haven't quite clicked going forward yet. I think the USG game, Livy game, the Kelly game, that's probably just been the one.
That's where all the new players are from in that area of the pitch.
And it's still early. Like, to be honest, even us at Hearts, I would probably say that we've not hit top gear yet, but 2 games in.
Yeah, exactly. He's calling Ryan Jack the quarterback, innit? Quarterback!
Aye, mate.
That American part, mate.
Tell you who was a quarterback at the weekend? Stephen Davis. Rolled back years.
Did he play?
Kelly, aye.
He needs
Man
to
of the
play,
match.
mate, Davis. He's
I know.
He's a class of ball, man,
just a
especially
number.
with teams sitting in, mate. That he can go and play the longer passes, can't he? Do you play with him, brothers?
I played with him for a few years, aye.
Who was the best player when you were at Rangers?
I would say Devo.
Every day in training?
Oh, mate,
At it.
unbelievable, at it every day. But he's got that deceivingly fast speed that you don't think he's...
burst.
Aye.
Has he, right?
Aye. And never loses the ball.
Yeah.
Never loses the ball.
Is he,
Even in training.
is he tough? Is
Oh,
he, can
aye.
he tackle on that,
Strong
Davis?
as well. Gives you a wee bit, aye.
Yeah.
This is what, I say this, brothers. I don't know if this is the way you see it, right? But people always ask, who's the best player, who's the best player in training, stuff like that. And see when you say Stephen Davis, it's because I always think that football players judge players different than fans do.
Yeah.
Because I'll say Stephen Davis every day in training because he never loses the ball. He's the best at the basics. He gets the ball, gives the ball, keeps it all the time. But people say stuff like, "What? No,
Murray.
no, but
say no Morelos because he scored all the
Alfredo
goals,
because he
aye.
scores 30 goals. Is
Yep.
it? Well, obviously that's different. He wins your games, but you look at somebody like Devo and it's just like never gives the ball.
Yeah.
Tight areas, knows when to play short passes, knows when to play long passes, to break lines, keep it, just basics.
Fans,
Just
fans
unbelievable.
like to see players get by players and that, don't they? Devo doesn't really do that, but
Nah.
as you say, from a play point of view, you appreciate it because he never loses the ball.
Aye. If you're under pressure, you know if you keep him, he's keeping it for
he's
you.
keeping it.
He looks like he never gets frustrated in it either,
Never.
Steve Davis, eh?
So chilled.
Is he?
If you ask everybody, a player, who was your best player you ever played with or whatever, you would always say a midfielder that can keep the ball.
Yeah.
You would think to your own career.
Yeah.
I would always think of guys like Claudio Reyna and that. He was unbelievable, just kept the ball because you think, how's he able to keep the ball in that such tight spaces? But he'll be important. Were they playing Tuesday, do you think?
I play him, mate. I
I
think
would play him every
yeah,
week.
100%, mate.
I think
As long
he'll
as
play.
he's feeling it.
After the weekend, I think he'll play.
Yeah.
Because he'll still be fit as fuck, won't
Oh,
he, Steve
aye.
Davis,
Devo,
regardless of his age?
You look at that midfield of that European run, it was Devo, right? He played right
Yeah.
mid.
Did he right
mid,
graveyard
aye.
shift right mid, did he?
Aye. You had Kevin Thompson, Pedro Mendes, and then on the right, he kind of switched between Wits, Nazy.
Jig played in wide sometimes, didn't he, as well?
Jig played left, aye. You just have to hang it up for.
Diag,
He
up
would
like Jig.
just smash.
Teed
The
it with his teeth. Teed it with his teeth, wasn't he, like that?
Teeth on like that, back
big cock, innit? Big cock flying through there.
They two boys like somebody that he'd been concussed for 2 weeks.
He'd rather get elbowed off on the back of his box.
some set
The
of
big bull.
But Pedro Mendes as well, what a player he
Oh,
was,
never
man.
used his left foot.
Was he?
What, outside of the right?
Aye, all the time.
That was technique.
Terry's brother, innit?
I think Terry
Terry
Mendes as
Mendes,
well.
Aye, Pedro Mendes. What midfield that is, eh?
I know. But I don't think people give Tomo the credit he's due either.
Well,
I know
because he gives himself,
Oh,
but
he all
anybody else
that,
does. I know, was he brilliant?
Oh,
God,
brilliant.
does
Never lost the ball either.
Yeah.
Strong, see when he gets that arse in, never lost it. But everybody associated him with a hard tackling, win it, and then just get it to the better players. But Tomo could play, drive with the ball.
Well, it's funny you
Make
should
things
say that. I was at a kids' football Saturday with Deeks Riordan, and we were sitting in the stand watching our two kids, and he said that, he says Tomo was the best player at Hibs.
Aye.
That's including Brute. He says, in terms of football wise, Tomo was the best player.
To be honest,
Vastly underrated.
this isn't disrespectful at all because it's a compliment, but I was actually shocked at how good he was at Middlesbrough. Like when I went there in training and that, and like you say, he just takes it anywhere, but just unbelievable using his body. I used to say that with Barry Robson as well, mate. Like unbelievable using his body.
Dirty
Just
bastard, Barry.
gets that arse in.
Dirty bastard. mate.
He's the money. He's the moneyest out of
elbows.
any player. He's arguably money on Fergie, by the way.
Robbo's
Robson,
angrier than Fergie, is he?
No angrier, but moanier.
Right.
Because he would just moan at the smallest things. Whereas Fergie would just moan if he's getting beat or nobody passing him the ball. But Robbo could be anything, mate.
Robbo's
Anything.
face was so tight to his, when his skin was so tight to his face. Buzzy boy. That's why he was like that. Robbo was on the heat of the ball, mate, and he was still fucking elbowing you in the face.
I got one of them the first day of training with Scotland.
With Scotland. What a full on
Elbow.
wild, Who else was money?
Scott McDonald.
Oh, Scott McDonald's up there, mate. Scott McDonald, man. Oh my God.
Nazy's up there, eh?
Aye, right up there. Right up there. He was
What
so
would he
bad.
get? Would Nazy be like a personal one?
No.
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 Kenny Miller.
Kenny.
Kenny's fucking hell.
I can imagine.
Jig was just as bad as well.
Was he?
I seen the third division.
Aye, but they're all good
Some
team
moaning
players.
fucker,
Aye,
but you
they are.
understand
Aye.
why. They're just trying to get the bit Kenny Miller could moan. Fuck me.
Aye.
Because you gave me Nazy's number, obviously, so we send each other videos, and him on the side for Hearts 20s as well. Just you could see him.
Oh, aye. He got sent off.
Did he get sent off
last week, eh?
Did he? What, in the 20s? For the 20s
Apparently
manager?
it was for swearing, which it's a bit much, innit?
Nah,
But do you know the worst thing was that Kenny used to say to Kenny Miller, Kenny sometimes wouldn't even moan, right? But it was even worse. See if you get the ball away, right? You turn around, Kenny be still marking the pitch.
Disgusting.
He's shite.
That's it.
That's the worst thing in the world.
I'm the worst player in the world.
Few players have had that, I'll tell you.
Were you Money Brothers?
Aye, I'll answer for you. You're a
Was he?
money bastard.
Nah.
You're a money bastard, brothers. Come on, let's tell the truth.
Did
here.
you ever hear a wee bit in training or that?
Nah, I'm
Nah.
the size of him. I'm shouting back at him.
No. No, not really. I thought I'd be
I
going
think he's
well.
no moaning at Broomhill then, no?
No, he's actually been good, mate.
No.
I think the first couple you were a wee bit frustrated, then after that you've been great.
No, I'm chilled now. Eh? The days have gone.
You've been getting the treatment off other teams though, haven't you, really?
Oh, he's been getting leather. He's been getting digged every day. He's a punch bag, isn't he, big man? I can see his face. But the worst thing was one of the wee boys, I went to Evan Camham doing the ends at him, big man Cam's like, shut the fuck up. Evan, shut yourself.
Wait, can I tell that story? He texts me after the game. Big man, don't react to any of them. Can you get a free game ban? But if we win the league, I'll let you punch some. Oh no! Turn up front and I walked straight up and the centre half went like right into my kidneys. Boom!
Mate, I was watching the, obviously seeing the game at the weekend. One of the corners, right? As your brothers, there's a guy here, guy there, guy
Oh,
there.
mate, he's got 8 on him now,
The
man.
corner, mate.
Top goal scorer, mate,
I know.
We still kick on his head as well. That's that tells everything, mate. Do you think Rangers will turn it round? Go for it? Yes or no?
Yep.
I
Kev,
think
you're
it's
a
a
bit-
big ask.
Oh.
I think it's a big ask. I just think the team will come and park the bus. I think it'll be different. I think Rangers will score. Did they score enough to get them through the tie? I think it'll be tough. I would like to see them get through because I'd like to see both teams fighting out in the Champions League groups. I think that'd be amazing for Scottish football. Regardless of allegiance or alliance, whatever it may be, I think the two of them to be there punching with the heavyweights of world football, European football, definitely. But it's a tough ask. But what they need to do is think of the bad results they had in the Europa League last season. So you like see when they scored the early goals against Dortmund. They scored the early goals against who was it when they were? Was it the
Leipzig.
Aye, so similar performance. You get an early goal, you get the crowd on your back. Before you know it, you might get that second one, and it might be a comfortable night. But they are going to sit in. Saying that, I'm presuming they're going to sit in. I think they come out and attack.
Sure, nah,
You never
mate,
know.
Well, that'll play into Rangers' hand.
Aye,
is it
I
not?
think
That's-
it's better than
listen,
Rangers.
but
That was
you just
such a-
Rangers
don't know
will
in
through,
football.
I think. I think Rangers will.
I think Rangers will score two. It's well, I do think they'll score two. It's just whether
Aye.
they concede or no, because that team did look dangerous.
Is
Got
away
some good
goals
players.
No,
No,
think so.
Is that still
No,
scrapped, is it?
Nah.
I can't remember the boy's name, but it's like Arnani or something in the middle of the pitch for that USG. Did you watch the game?
No, we were playing.
Mate, he looked.
Was he good, was he?
I thought he looked very good, aye.
Right.
So they definitely had dangerous players, but I'll say Rangers will go through, aye.
Score 2-0, extra time.
Aye. I'll go 2-0.
You going that, brothers?
3-0.
Aye, I'd win it at 90.
I think we'll score early then when all that's happened.
I wanted to ask you as well, surprised Alan McGregor's not started the game this year?
100% for me.
He needs to be the starter, didn't he?
I think he's still number one for me.
Yeah.
I know people gave him a wee bit last year for a few mistakes, but I don't think they'd have got to the European final if it wasn't for him.
No, he had some
No,
big
his performances
performances.
in Europe are unreal.
Weigh up his mistakes to the brilliant saves that he had, and the brilliant saves outweighs the silly mistakes.
Yep.
All goalkeepers make mistakes.
Yep.
You look at Joe McLaughlin on Saturday, try to pass a ball out and get caught and come out and nearly get a goal from it. It happens all the time, but to sign an extra year at Rangers and no be number one, find that.
Aye, that's probably been the biggest thing for me. It's like, I just... Obviously, I never asked him or spoke to him about it, but I just assumed that if he stayed, that they had the conversation that he still would have been number one.
Yeah.
Because
He'll be
getting
ready to
nothing
sit on the
to
bench,
prove, really,
won't
is
he?
he? Like-
He'll not be the type that'll be happy to sit on a bench, will he?
I wouldn't think so.
no, that's what I mean. That's why I wouldn't imagine him deciding on a
He's-
year if he was going to be number two. But
Unless
to be fair,
he-
John McLaughlin is a good goalkeeper, but I just, for me, Griggs, you're talking about one of the best, if not second best Rangers goalie of all time.
What's it like to play in front of brothers?
Brilliant. By the way, he's one of the moneyest up there.
Aye.
But he demands standards, but I
Is
don't
he
think-
talking to you constantly throughout the
Aye,
game?
100% all game, and he's brilliant with his feet. I don't think he gets the credit he has with his feet.
Right, is he good? Is he?
Aye,
Right.
aye.
So that's not something that people, like you
Aye.
say, people didn't give him really
No.
credit for it.
He's
Really
got the
good.
cut to the fullback on lock. He's very good at that.
And he'll probably say he's the heated tennis champ as well.
Has he got a good touch in that, has he?
Aye.
What about your couple of zings Saturday? Pitch? Other than that, you're outstanding, but the two zings. Went to zing
I remember the first one, first
Stephen
half.
Craigan's big toe you had on it.
Shut myself. Because it was into the wind, I'm like, I need to play this safe, and I played it. Horrible, that. Right,
fuck
go
it.
there. That's completion.
What about the flies in this place?
I know, it's humming a shout.
Have you just
Somebody
have you
shouts
gone
something
into a
like
fly
that.
camp every week? Why is that?
If there's no fucking pigeons, we get flies.
I know, it's some place, mate. Right, Dundee United, another amazing result for Scottish football. Beat AZ Alkmaar 1-0. Glenn Middleton, what a goal as well, what a
Mate, United
performance.
were good.
Did you watch it, Kev?
They were very good. Some of the passes are playing that, tempo was good. They were like, when AZ had the ball, they were quick to get it back and they played some good. But then you look at Dundee United starting lineup.
Great, mate. They've got a good
Middleton,
squad this year.
Fletcher, Levitt, obviously big Charlie at the back with
Edwards is
experience.
good.
And who's that?
Tony Watt,
American,
yeah,
right? Tony Watt. Like they had
Sybil.
Sybil. What a good acquisition he's been, by the way.
Acquisition's great work, Kevin.
But no, they've got a right good side, by the way.
Cam Kirks,
Cam
Big Kirks, he would love that, innit?
Straight up the Tom
Kirks, yeah,
Kirks
needless the acquisition.
But no, they've got a good
Genie
side.
Rewinder. It's all that.
What'd you call his wife there?
Genie. Definitely Genie, mate. Like Genie
G.
Kurtz.
So was it fairly deserved, Kev, for United?
Aye, definitely.
Right.
I think they'll find it difficult over there. I think you'll see a different AZ Alkmaar, but they've given themselves.
What? And he said what?
Did I not just say AZ Alkmaar now? Or was it Alkmaar?
Alkmaar,
There you go, big dog.
Same thing.
I'm not even trying that one, big man.
AZ Alkmaar.
Will United go and beat them away? Tough ass.
I think it's a tough
Nah.
ask, but yeah, they've got that one goal to hold on to, so you never know.
I tell you what, Jamie McGrath's a brilliant signing for
St Mirren, isn't it?
Aye, he's a very, very good
the
signing.
boy?
Back Jack's always big time, isn't it?
Aye.
St Mirren
They
before.
have.
Oh, he was the Irish
He
boy.
went
No,
down
Irish
south.
boy, is that
Yeah.
right? Yep.
He's really good. But
Where do you fit him in, though?
I know, mate, they've got some squad, don't they, to be fair to them. But
Must be paying a few quid in United,
do,
mate.
do you take Tony out then?
Yeah.
Because Tony plays in that kind of hole.
aye.
Yeah, I seen Tony's drifting out the kind of the left as well,
he
wasn't he?
going left, isn't he?
I think he
Yeah.
plays
He
it
can
towards the
play
left,
there,
but he can play in there as well.
I know matter
It's
because
a great
Davey
options, eh?
Martindale sorted him out on Sunday.
Just shows you, mate, doesn't it? He's a genius, Davey Martindale.
Davey Martindale, not a problem. 1-0 back.
And it looked like Livy thoroughly deserved it.
Aye.
Aye, definitely. Miles better team in the first 60 minutes. Dundee United didn't come into it, but I've said it so many times, he doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Nah.
Nah.
He really doesn't, because Livia, budget-wise, they've been punching above their weight for the last 2-3 seasons. They've always been in about that sort of top six, but I do agree with a lot of people say that obviously they play their home pitch to their advantage, but their away record's decent, mate.
Aye.
See if
Yes,
I'm
he picked up a lot of
see if I'm a Hibs come the January window, I'm going for Newbley.
For Newboy.
100%.
Good, isn't it?
He looked
Mate, tell me
very
about
good
when he
again.
got in the box just before the goal. He got in
Drops
the box,
inside.
drops inside, pushes him out the way with one hand, pushes it out the other way with one hand, gets a shot off a goal.
That's for the goal.
Mate, so strong, eventually keep the ball alive and it's a
And
great
he's
finish.
fast.
He's
Mate,
quick
straight
at it.
against
Oh, did you
the
play
man.
him at Arbroath last year?
Aye.
Good brothers,
very
aye.
good.
He's got
Very
good
good.
feet in that, innit?
Good for his feet for a
Very
big
good.
man, isn't he?
I don't
Like,
think
I'm not
people
saying-
realise how good he is.
I'm not saying
He'll move
Livy
a
are
game.
a good side, but teams in that league that can pay a wee bit more money and have a bit more quality, he would stick out for me, especially in Scottish football. He fits that bill of.
I would say if he stayed at Arbroath win the league.
Do you think so, huh?
Aye.
Aye.
That's a good shout though.
Aye.
Because he was
'cause he was
probably
the best player,
difference
wasn't he?
maker, wasn't he?
Yeah. But him and Davey living in one bed together, didn't they? Him and
they?
Davey
Aye.
Martindale and Murray above a spar. Just eat pot noodles, that.
It just
Davey,
shows you,
that
though.
loves a pot noodle, man.
It shows you as well how hard it is to come off of Europe and then go and do it at the weekend.
Yeah.
And that's when how you need to give Celtic and Rangers players so
Yeah.
much respect that they can do that week
for
on
the
week
whole
season, I know.
Mate, I know we've just done Rangers there, but I forgot to mention it at the time. James Tavernier's 350th appearance at Rangers, mate,
Wow.
in 6 years. How can you play that many games in 6 seasons?
See,
so
I'm not-
consistent, isn't he?
this guy never looks tired.
No. He plays
Machine.
every game, mate.
I know.
Callum McGregor, to be fair, he does it every year at
just
Celtic
keeps-
in Scotland.
Aye, they just keep
nearly-
going.
that's nearly
And another
60
breathing.
games a
You know, the
season.
camera
That's
never
crazy,
goes to
mate.
him and he's breathing.
How's that
ridiculous.
even possible? 60
Mate,
games a
it's
season?
ridiculous.
What is it about Tavernier that allows him to do that? Does he do extras? Does he?
He does, aye, but I wouldn't say he's like. Obviously, he works hard and looks after himself, but I've seen boys that are like crazy disciplined. He was one, to be honest. Jermaine Defoe was one, crazy disciplined. I wouldn't say Tav's like that. Just.
So what, would Tav eat shite and stuff like that?
I wouldn't say he eats shit. He's got a good diet, but he'll still like. He loves a beer. Like,
he,
at
right?
the weekend and that, he'll have a couple of beers. He loves that. What's that Indian's name? Akbar's.
Right.
So he'll have like an Indian on a Saturday night.
That's
a
good that you
couple of
tell
beers.
us when he goes Saturday night. So.
It's a takeaway. So he still like, enjoys himself, but he's just a machine, mate. Like never
like
injured.
that so as well, isn't he?
Ah, yes. Yes, he's built.
Goals to pick games is a joke for a fullback.
It's ridiculous.
Goldson's the same. Goldson plays every week, doesn't he?
Aye.
They've been brilliant. They've been brilliant for Rangers. Right, Dundee United, I think they'll go through. What one now? Celtic. Left it late against Ross County. Kev, you watch the game?
I just
Third
saw
goal
the-
was a joy.
Third goal was very good. I just watched the highlights. Jota could prove to be like signing in the summer. I know he was on loan last year, but created all 3 goals. I know Peter's saying leave it late, but Celtic were always attack. It was just a matter of getting that opportunity. And the big boy,
Giacomakis.
no,
Not the big
Gents,
centre.
is it Gents?
Yeah.
He great header, but got to be disappointed in some parts of his defending.
Was he a bit shaky?
Aye, I would say that their goal came from him. Maybe no defending great. Sometimes I don't know. Maybe not strong enough.
Right.
But similar to Big Julie. What's his name?
Is
Julie.
she?
Aye, Big Julie. It's similar in terms of like they look the kind of look same stature, but maybe not the strongest aggressive.
I get what you're saying.
Perhaps, you know what I mean?
He's
So,
quite a beanpole,
aye.
isn't he?
Is he as good in there?
Oh, he must have leapt about fucking 8 foot
For his
there for
goal.
that header.
Because the big man was no
Aye,
bad in there
Julie
as
must have
well.
bad there. But no, Celtic deserved it, and a good finish by Kyogo as well.
Jota for that money is good business, isn't it?
Oh, 6.5 or 6 million quid.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
He'll go again, won't he?
I think so.
He will, aye. That's a given. But again, they just look solid. And I said at the beginning of the season, they look good because they've only added 1 or 2 players that maybe aren't in the starting lineup. So it's pretty much the same team as last year. Whereas in Rangers' part, they've added 3 or 4 who are in the team now, and it's trying to get them 3 or 4 to make the team. Whereas Celtic's kind of got the team. And I know that they left it late, but it was comfortable in the end. They got the 3rd goal and.
Sorry, mate.
That's what I said that in last week's podcast, that it didn't matter what business Celtic done this summer. Jota and Carter Vickers were going to be the best bits of business they've done because they know what they're going to get. Two players that got in Team of the Year, 2 players that you could argue in the 4 or 5 of Celtic's best players category. So they know they're bringing players in that are improving, obviously, the players that they had the year before. And for me, Jota, I think, especially when it's the tighter games, he's going to be a difference
When
maker
teams
for
are saying
Celtic.
you need somebody who can
because,
do a bit.
I mean, he does so well for Kyogo's goal.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you can take away how good that is because he shows the composure to cut it back. How many times you see wingers get to the byline and just smash it across the box?
Every fucking week.
But he picks his head up, picks Kyogo out, and that first goal is always massive in the types of games because Ross County are decent, mate.
Yeah, they are
I
good.
think
Ross
they'll do
County,
well
he's
again
done
this year,
well.
Ross County.
I know, although they've got no points the first 2 games, they'll be alright.
I think so.
Is there a time where Giacomakis and Kyogo need to play together? I think Celtic looked
I like
a bit better
Giacomakis.
when Giacomakis came
I
on.
like him because he's a different
Maybe takes
option.
attention away from Kyogo.
Aye.
Bit more a physical presence.
Aye, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
He's
a monster, isn't he?
Aye, he is.
Aye, he's a monster.
You don't realise how big he is. And he more or less takes the 2 centre halves out of the game alone and gives the other one free.
Did you play against Celtic as well, brothers?
No, I've not played against him, but
No.
just watching them last year,
Yeah.
I think he's a handful. Maybe he needs to work on his finishing a wee bit. He'll probably agree with that with the chances he missed even last week against Aberdeen. But
I was just sitting on it.
aye.
On Aberdeen, how good did they look against St Mirren? I know St Mirren went down to 10 men,
I like
but
their
they do
new
look a
striker.
different outfit, don't they?
I like their new striker.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Miovski.
Miovski. He
Scott Biff.
good. Could easily have had a hat trick. Your man on loan for Liverpool. What a finish!
Who was that? Clarkson?
Clarkson.
Oh, boy, he hits a ball.
What
Lovely.
a strike! But no,
something
Aberdeen. We said it last year. We all said it that. Give Jim Goodwin the pre-season, let him bring in a couple of his own players, and Aberdeen will be all right. And the early signs are showing that Aberdeen are going to be a decent side this year. I think it'll be quite difficult. I think they brought on Ramirez at the end, and even him, he looked good as well.
Yeah, he slipped a wee ball
Slipped
through
a
for the
great
goal,
ball
didn't
in.
he?
So they've now got options, and I think that St Mirren, I kind of worry for St Mirren.
So do I. They've got Ross County next week. Then a must win for St. Like St Johnstone are picking up points as well now.
Yeah.
St Johnstone go and beat Motherwell.
I think it's a must-win for the manager.
This game?
Already, aye.
Right.
Definitely.
I would agree with you.
100%.
Because a bad feeling sets in and once that happens.
When did he
you're gone.
win come the end of last
I
season?
know.
Aye, they had a poor run, didn't
Aye.
they, towards the end?
He's had the summer to bring in, he's flipped the whole team round, he's brought in his whole squad. And
They had
if
a poor League Cup as well, brothers, didn't
aye,
they?
that's what I mean, they get knocked out for a group they should be getting through.
Do you know what almost makes it worse as well? They actually played really well against Motherwell last week. Don't
Aye.
win, get beat. And they started that game well, didn't they? Up at Pittodrie, first 10-15 minutes, played well, couple of chances. Go down to 10 men, get a penalty away to Pittodrie. Your backs it against the wall, and then end up obviously losing 4-1. So obviously they're under a bit. He will be under a bit of pressure because if you start with 0 points, and like Brother says, then the end of the season well. But I do think they've got some good players. The game next week's massive for them.
Declan Gallagher, I'd love to see a ping up ball, him ping his start that again. Declan Gallagher, I'd love to see him and Jig hit balls off each other.
Just have the ball swing and see what happens.
mate.
His length for his balls, that's some combination.
That be Jig, mate, could go down in history, man.
Some game.
Pay-per-view, that would sell pay-per-view, I'm telling you, man.
Is St Mirren at home next week or away to Ross County?
The welcome Ross County, so they're at home.
Oh, big game. Huge.
Well, he's
Is it?
linked to the Motherwell job as well. If you were him, you're taking that Motherwell job right now, aren't you? 100% if you've got a chance that you're taking it.
If
Nah.
he gets that Motherwell job, he's like fell off.
Surely he's
the
not
apple
going back to Motherwell.
That's the
Rumour,
rumour,
isn't it?
mate.
He's favourite for it, but
Would Hammy get that, Stephen Hamill, now?
I think it all depends on how he does really as a caretaker because he's been there for years. Obviously did really well as a player. He's loved by the fans. Been part of the background for a while as well, so it does make sense. I think it all depends on how
Do you
the
go for
caretaker does.
do you go for losing that cushy job down the youths? It's maybe a job for life to go and take a job you might get
That
sacked in
job
6
security's
months.
went right down in
Down,
it.
aye.
I think-
You're the main
I think-
man. Is that what you want to be?
That's
If you want to be
I
the main
think
man.
if Graham Alexander sacked maybe 15-20 games to go, Stevie Hammer might be the guy to see if he can steady the ship. But when you're this early into the season and the lack of maybe managerial experience Stephen Hammer has at that level, is it too big a jump for him going for youth team into the first team manager? He'd probably be all right being and take. I don't know. I just maybe Motherwell have their ideas and somebody a wee bit more experienced because like it's a big season for Motherwell.
Yeah, 100%.
For me, I go and give it to Kevin Thompson.
Good.
Said that last week, mate.
Did you say that last
Aye,
week?
I
The
think-
Motherwell
I
fans
agree
want a
with
better brand of football, don't he? He's the type that would give them it.
Would that suit Tom, even though the transfer window's passed?
Oh, I think Tomo would jump at the
Yeah.
Motherwell job, mate. I think he would.
Because obviously, like you say, if the transfer window finishes and you go in and take the job and you've not got an opportunity to bring in even at least maybe just a couple of your own types of players.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like the Jim Goodwin situation. So that Aberdeen job comes up, you can't really say no to Aberdeen when you're at St Mirren.
It all depends on
know,
budget though, doesn't it?
aye.
'Cause obviously the window's still
When
open
does the
for
window
another-
finish?
End of August.
So it's surprising that
aye.
we've no acted quickly in terms of trying to get somebody in.
And they've got a decent squad.
Yeah.
Aye, so now the next few weeks will probably tell us how that's going to shape up. But options.
St Johnstone, massive result for him. Stevie
Huge.
May back in amongst the goals as well. Good player, Stevie May. I think he just needs his confidence back, Stevie May.
But you said last year they hate scoring goals.
Oh, sorry. Full back
Scores against us with his first touch.
They hate scoring goals.
It's a poor goal to give away.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, Stephen Dolan, if he just squeezes up, he maybe possibly plays him offside, then he gets a bit of head loss and starts chasing the ball, and the ball's just getting played over top of him. But fair play to Stevie May, he's been persevering in the box and he's managed to get on the end of it. But after Motherwell scoring in injury time, just take the point. you've got 4 points out of 2 games. You're getting yourself a right good shot at getting the job.
Yeah.
Lose it at home. And then obviously the commentator saying wild scenes at Motherwell. There must have been about 45 St Johnstone fans running to the
Oh,
stand.
come on, give them their moment.
45, 50 maybe then.
Johnson
Naismith.
did that.
Aye.
I think he was under pressure.
Definitely.
To be fair,
Definitely.
they've signed the greatest football manager of all time in Jamie Murphy, so
I feel
if somebody's going to do a bit for him,
Mate,
it's a
that
Muff
is,
dog.
Jamie Murphy only scores goals like that, low across the keeper every time, mate.
Muff will be a brilliant sign for them.
Yeah.
Because he scored, who was it? He scored 2 in the cup a couple of weeks ago in his first game. Obviously, it's only took him 2 games to get off the Martin Milligan. Played with him. I actually thought it was a brilliant signing for Hibs when Hibs signed him, but injury obviously killed him a wee bit. So I think St Johnstone will get a player in Jamie Murphy. For me, he's guaranteed their top scorer this year. There you
so,
go,
huh?
guaranteed.
Playing, where's he playing off the left?
He usually plays off the left, but it looks as if he was off the right
Yeah,
at the
off the
weekend,
right,
didn't he?
yeah, something
Right, was he off the right now?
Or maybe in behind the striker, because all the highlights look as if he was sort of through the middle. But I guarantee he's a top scorer.
Right, okay, that's a good
Guaranteed.
shout. Graham Kerry, good sign as well.
Aye.
Right, good player, Graham
Yeah, he's a
Kerry.
good player.
Right, Kirk Broadfoot.
Yes.
Going to go for the big man's career. What a career it is. Old side St Mirren, what the early days like under Gus McPherson. I think I go mad on the side Gus at Queen's Park, mate, could.
He's proper old school manager.
Crap, what is he?
Oh, mate.
So talk us through with you, reserves obviously, youth team and then...
No. I was Hibs youth team.
Right?
My team was with Tomo, Bruni, Riordan, O'Connor.
I never knew
There you
that.
go, go getting exclusives again, I never knew that.
Right. That was my team.
So obviously when they do that picture every now and then of the 5 young boys that come through to Hibs, what were you then?
I was probably collecting the bins or something.
Who was it, Bobby Williamson?
No, it was McLeish.
Oh, Alec McLeish, right?
And then Bobby Williamson came in near
Right.
the end, and I just didn't like Edinburgh, to be honest. I wanted to come home, and then wee Parky let me go to St Mirren, and I went to St Mirren at 17 and went straight in the first team.
So, and that was Gus that signed you?
No, that was Tom Hendry.
You're having a shocker, by the way. It's just you know you're
Yeah,
playing.
research.
Sick, man.
He signed me as
What's
well.
happening here?
I've fucking spoke to him enough about his career, mate. I'm fucking sick of it. So then Gus gets a job?
Then Gus comes as assistant manager, then gets a job,
Right.
and then brings Andy Millen in as assistant.
I mind
So-
Andy Millen.
Aye. So Gus was like the crazy one, and Andy's like the good guy, who is a good guy, but then when he goes on at the pitch becomes the crazy one.
Crazy one and all.
Well, Andy Milne was like 42 playing sweeper, wasn't he?
Aye. So me and Andy at the back with Kevin McGowan the other side, back three.
Right.
So Andy's telling me, when you go, just go and bomb on. Just go and play. He's like, what I was doing at the weekend, left wing, right wing, complaining. Gus is at the sideline shouting, where the fuck are you going? Get back here. Andy's like that. Don't listen to him, just keep playing. Get off his head. And then you come in and he'll fall out with somebody, and then before you know it, scissors are getting chucked at them.
What, Gus would?
Aye. Mental, mate.
So you were 17 when you broke into the first team at
Aye.
St Mirren?
Because when I spoke to Gus McPherson about you, he said Broaders always wanted to be Andy Milne. No, I swear he did. He said like Andy Milne was your like hero. Is that right?
Andy was probably the biggest influence in my career.
That's what he said.
coach-wise,
Yeah. How, what was it that he taught you that stayed with you for so long?
He just used to take me for about 2 hours every afternoon, practicing, playing, and just gave me belief to play. He just gave me a freedom, whereas Gus was so, play your position, don't do this, don't do that, and he's like, fuck off, go and play, go and entertain. Because back then, I had a wee bit of confidence to try stuff and all that until I went to Rangers and my father went.
Back in the day you were like a bit of a boy, weren't you?
I would play, I would do step-overs, cross and all that. I'd get 10 goals in a season, kind of things.
Yeah. But I mean outside of football, like you talked us before, fighting and...
Oh, I would fight and all that. I end up at court a couple of times. Crazy. Gus and Andy take me under their wing and says, you need to screw the nut. They came to court as well and told, because I get guilty, didn't I? And they told the judge, look, he's got a chance of a career here, give him a second chance because they're going to put me away.
And what was it for Brothers fighting?
Aye, fighting.
Just out in there or something?
Aye. And then
Anyway, I've got experience of that myself.
And then after that, it gave me the fright because the judge was like, one more time in that shoe, you're away. And I screwed the nut, and after that, it was football, and I just dedicated my life to it, to be honest.
And the missus was a big help as well, wasn't she?
Mrs. screwed the nut in as well. She told me if I go to jail, she'd leave, so it was one of the ones. It was either stop reacting to people or you go away, and it was one of the ones where you can either be a neighbour and just grow up in a council estate or go and be somebody, and that's what I did.
See, generally, I'm not just saying this because you're here, but you are one of the most dedicated footballers I've played with as well. So I never knew that about you, and I was your teammate for obviously half a season, so that's proper surprising.
So what age did that start, that dedication, after the court?
18 and a half. So it did, and that was at gym every day, eating well, and try to, even if it was a case of you played with St Mirren and then went down to League One, I was always going to try and be the best I could be. And lucky enough, I done well, and Rangers come in.
Was the Skittle bombs high in your diet? I used to love it.
Don't get me wrong, I liked it. I loved it. You got to enjoy yourself. I was a wee bit old school. Like, even when I went to Rangers, Walter was like, he was old school. He was like, don't care what you do, go out and have a beer at the weekend. As long as we win and you work hard, do what you want. And that stuck with me.
I don't know if this is a true story or no, but I remember somebody told me this. While you were at Rangers, your body fat at one point was that low that Walter Smith actually popped and says, like, I'm giving you money, go and get a Chinese tonight. Is that true?
So I got injured and I just became obsessed with it. I was like panicking, that's me, I've lost my place in the team. My career's over at Rangers, I'm away, so wouldn't eat any shite, wouldn't have any carbs, which was stupid. Just protein. Battle the gym, I was leaving Murray Park at 6:30 at night, getting there at 8 in the morning.
Fucking hell.
I come in one day and Walter's done at the gym at 8 o'clock in the morning. Get a colour thing and I'm like, oh shit, what have I done? Just shite yourself with Walter, arm round the shoulder. You're in this gym in the next month, I'm going to kick your There's 20 quid, go and have a Chinese tonight. Away you go.
No way.
I swear to God. No,
and did you go and get it?
Somebody told me that at Rangers.
I swear for the next week he was in every day to see if I was in the gym.
Was he?
I was in like stretching and all of that, and he's like, you doing the weight? I'm like, no, I'm just stretching, gaffer.
He's in the toilet for press ups, isn't he?
Did he not have the same, did he not do the same thing with Boydie? Said he, wasn't he?
Have you told Boydie, you're 16 stone now, I need you back to 17.
Gave him 3 hours for a Chinese.
I'm on 5 burgers we used to have.
So see, when you were at St Mirren Brothers playing first team, who would you go out with? Would you go out with like Andy Milne and the...
No. Andy had stopped drinking at that time. I just went out with my mates and a few boys for the team. Mate, loved a night out back in the day.
So when did you first hear a Rangers interest? And you told me your dad was a massive Rangers fan, wasn't he?
My dad's huge, aye. No word they'll lie, I almost went to Celtic.
Did you?
Aye, Gordon Stratton tried to sign me, but he wanted me in for a week's trial first, a week to see me. And St Mirren wouldn't allow it. And I was devastated, I'm not going to lie. I just thought, go to Celtic, huge club, even though I was a Rangers fan and that. Because at that point, Rangers weren't wanting me. And then we played Rangers the week before the end of the transfer window in a pre-season game. And I had a World Day. And they says, I were interested, don't do nothing, and we'll sign you in January. And then we'll go in and get the sacked. And I was like, oh, fuck, it's done. And Walter came in and then he said, I want to sign you as well, I've watched you. And that was it. It's pre-contract, signed in the summer.
And how was your dad when you told him?
Took my dad up to Murray Park and he was greeting and that.
Was he?
Aye. Just one of the amazing moments of
Surreal
your family.
moments,
Aye, you're getting a wee bit soft here. Aye, it's just, Dad was a huge Rangers fan. I was a big Rangers fan, and to sign, and Andy will know that, it's what dreams are made of. And it's, even when Walter's there signing you, I grew up watching Walter, I was like a fan, I was starstruck, do you know what I mean?
How was he with your dad? Good?
Aye, brilliant. Taking us round Murray Park, showed us just a general chit chat. My dad could talk to MD, man. So it was good.
See, when you signed, who was the? I know you obviously mentioned Devo, but who was the like standouts in training for the day you signed and onwards?
Well, obviously I went there and it was pre-season, so fucking running, weren't we? But I grew up watching Barry Ferguson, didn't you? And then you meet him, and then first day.
Fergie was a joke, wasn't he?
Aye, it was so good. And then you meet him, and then the first day he's coming for you in training and that. You're like, what the fuck?
But in the motor on the way in, Boydie says to you,
didn't he?
didn't
On the
he?
way up, boys like, Fergie comes for you. You need to give him some back, he'll be on you every day. It's first day, I'm like, right, no worries, Fergie comes for you, and I'm right back up. First day at Rangers, I'm going back at the captain. Fucking Cat Broadfoot, who's he?
He is like that though, because he almost tests you. He's like, what you like, you're going to come back for us. And to be fair, he is one of them. He actually likes it.
Did he do that to you as well, Andy?
I always thought like I don't know if you like it, I always thought he let us away with a wee bit more because we were Glasgow boys, do you know what I mean? And it's not like he's bullied our players, that wasn't the case, but he knew that we worked hard. He knew that was real life. We were always going to train properly every day. So it was more.
The Scottish boys, I thought, trained harder than English boys, and that was just a given.
If you never trained hard in a training session every day, he will come for you 100%.
But do you remember the first time he came for you now? Because he was like your proper Rangers hero, wasn't he?
Aye.
I remember it was wee small-sided games, remember? And your team get beat and you picked a ball up and shelled it away.
Aye.
He's like, away in, go
he
on.
sent me in, aye. But he actually made me go and get the ball first. I said that to Slaney. So I do that now. See, but like the 20s when I'm kicked away, I make them go and get the ball. Because I remember seeing I volleyed the ball away when our team get beaten, he made me go and get the ball. He was so embarrassed that you're like trudging away. He's told me to go and get the ball, get it back. And as soon as I came back, he's like, going inside and all. I'm like, oh no. I'm going alone, do you know what I mean? He's sending me
First
back.
week.
So what did he say when he came into the dressing room?
He was like, no, it's one of them where you're in the changing room, you're sweating, thinking he's sending me back or something. Like, I fucked it here. Because I just scored in my debut the weekend. I'd only played one game. But then he was like, no, I don't mind that side of you, but don't be doing that again, like kicking the ball away, because I'll make you go and get it and send you back in. So it's like, fair enough. And
But you had a few on his one, brothers, didn't you?
Aye.
See on the when you've signed for Rangers or doing pre-season, the thing I noticed went to Rangers was the different level of training. Like the intensity was like, it was hard.
Aye.
Did you feel that going from St Mirren to Rangers? Was
But
it
you were
hard?
knackered after doing your 4 floors in the machine. I felt that everybody hated getting beat more than normal. See, like, at St Mirren it was like, you get beat, unlucky, we go again.
Yeah.
See, at Rangers, see if the team get beat, they were fighting. Mate, there was a scrap every day.
Who was it usually? Everyone?
Every day, mate. Honestly, every day. And then when the foreigners come in, they can't get their head around this at first.
I think you're mad.
They're like, what's going on, man? What's going on here? Yous are crazy. And then Big Darshavo and Fergie were at it every day, mate. They hated each other.
Did they?
No word of a lie. They hated it.
So would Darshave obviously give Fergie?
Oh, mate, he was
get it
solid.
back?
He was solid, mate. He just used to smack you in the arse and all of that.
Do you remember him?
Quite like, I'd enjoy that. Darshave will pull me, wouldn't he? I'd be asking to slap my arse every day. But was there no one you were arguing with Fergie and Walter came in and did Walter not stop you and Fergie once now?
No, that was Christian Daly, was it? No.
Oh, Christian Daly,
No, the only time I seen Walter go for Fergie was when my first game was a Champions League qualifier, and I think it's 0-0, and we're coming in and Fergie's saying this and doing that, and Walter's just standing there and listening to it all. And he picks up the tactic boards, the one you use, throws it at Fergie. You want to take the fucking team, stand up here and take the team. Oh, I don't want to take the team. No, get fucking on and take the team. I'm not wanting to take the team. And Walter's like that. Oh, don't say fuck all to have spoke. That was it. After that, man, I was like, holy shit, what have I came to here? First game.
Did Walter ever give you it?
Oh, I did a couple of times. I think it was Celtic away. I gave the penalty away. He just turned around, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I didn't mean to. Scotty done me. He just stopped and seen me coming and gave a penalty, and he's like, just shook the head, and that was me, man. I was
That's worse than getting shouted at. I'm just shaking your head.
I wasn't even shouted. It was like, what are you doing? And just the shaking. It was me for a week.
It was one of them, like, we've had a few in Scotland, like Walter Smith, obviously Alex Ferguson, Tommy Burns. Like, they've just got that aura, haven't they? Where everyone's just got that automatic respect, and you're just scared of them.
They come in the dressing room, it just goes to instantly quiet.
Silent.
So have you never seen anybody game it back now?
Never.
That's amazing, that.
Never.
Imagine that, though.
I think all the big players he managed,
Even Coisty. If Coisty's, he would go, Ali. No, Coisty would just go.
Would he, What, when Coisty was assistant manager? Wow.
But you only need to listen to McCoy's talk about Walter and you see the absolute maximum respect on all avenues.
Yep.
So like to gain that respect, that's the first thing I said to Jig. What's the difference between Coisty and Walter? He says Coisty walk in here, we'll have a chat and carry on. When Walter walk in, he says, please go quiet. Must be some. How do you get to that point? How do you?
Years and years of respect, mate, and success in it.
Winning,
success.
How many trophies did he win?
See, when you first went in, brothers, could you tell that team was good enough to get to a UEFA Cup final?
No.
No?
No, I was just a young boy. I'm just trying to establish myself. I'm not looking at the team thinking, right, we're going to get to a European Cup final. I'm just trying to go on the bench at that point.
Was it a good bonus for being on the bench in that?
It was worth it. But, nah, definitely no, but there was some amount of players that came in. That was pretty much a new team Walter signed, wasn't it?
Yeah. What was your favourite games for that run?
Werder Bremen away.
Oh, it's the biggest. It's the biggest doing I've ever seen anything.
What Rangers
get.
got to do?
Oh,
Oh, mate, talk about waves of attack. This was embarrassing.
Where were you playing?
Right back, aye. We pretty much played 4 centre backs, didn't we?
remember Giggs' saving that one?
Oh, mate.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Even Walter came in after the game and just went, don't know how we've won that, but well done, boys. Honestly,
Were they
the
brilliant?
biggest doing, aye.
Remember the
biggest
boy,
doing.
the Brazilian boy?
Brazilian, I was just thinking of-
Diego.
Diego, that's
aye.
right,
Number
aye.
10.
Unbelievable.
But to see again the European stuff, he was telling me when I met him some of the other players that you were up against. Who were some of the players you were directly up against?
Well, I had to mark Arshavin in the UEFA Cup final. Aye.
And he was flying at that time, Arshavin, remember? And he went to Arsenal after that, didn't he?
That's right, aye, he did. Just cheated, just sat, never went back. So I had to just sit. I wasn't. If the ball broke and I'm going away, all I heard was, Brothers, where you going? Back, just.
The old Gus McPherson shout, wasn't it? Get
Aye.
fucking back.
Aye, but if you done that with Walter, you wouldn't have played.
No.
Did you play in the Barca game? No.
No, I was on the bench. But
So, no.
no.
Man United, you got man of the match.
My match, Old Trafford away. So I did, aye.
Playing left wing back.
Left wing back, mate.
Were you?
Okay,
Aye. Back in the day, should have had a penalty as well.
Who you should have?
Aye.
What did you do Sunday?
I think I get flicked on by Kenny and I'm running behind doing my striker. And I get flicked in and I get chopped down, and even Graham Souness said after the game that should have been a penalty. That was a game me and Fernandez collided and he broke his leg.
Oh, aye.
What Fernandez is that?
The solid winger.
No.
Is it Fernandez?
No. Oh,
Valencia, no?
Valencia.
Valencia.
Valencia, aye.
He
was a
broke his
tank.
leg.
Aye. And then Nani, come on.
For fuck's sake.
cheers.
Ibrahimovic as well with Scotland.
Ibrahimovic, Scotland's the best player I've played against. He was a monster, mate. Monster. You just couldn't get near him. He's bringing things down up here with his
toe.
feet, and I'm trying to header it and everything.
6'8", unbelievable on the ball.
How
quick,
tall is he?
strong.
6 foot what?
Aye,
he's
6,
massive,
7.
mate.
Aye. Talks in third person, didn't he?
Aye.
What, on the pitch?
Well, interviews after, if we were doing an interview, he'd be sitting here. Yeah, Ibrahim had a good game today.
Aye.
Scored 2 goals.
But he actually does though, didn't he? Like, have you seen him? He's you know, he does like karate or
Karate,
jiu-jitsu or
aye.
something. So he
Jiu-jitsu,
just bring a body for up there all the time.
Yeah. What about, did you ever hear a player on the pitch that you would constantly have a battle with? Against?
Aye, probably Morelos, Kelly, the Rangers. Aye, that was the most battles I've had because at Rangers though I played a lot at fullback, never really played much centre back unfortunately, which is a big regret of mine. But so probably like even against Celtic I had to pick up Aidan McGeady. Fucking hell, I'm 6'2", big. I've got this wee guy flip-flopping me with his right foot and then squaring me up and flip-flopping me with his left. I'm like, what's going on here?
To be fair, I always thought a couple of your best games for Rangers was in Old Firms. The one at Parkhead was
4-2. Aye.
Remember that day you were unreal? To be fair, I thought you always done well in Old Firms.
Aye, to be fair, I done alright. I'm alright at 1v1s when I could run. I can't really run now.
Except for in behind. That's
Would you never went to Walter and said that I want to play centre back, or would that not happen?
I couldn't have went to Walter Smith and said that. I was pretty much the player. Andy's probably had it that could fill in at left back, centre back, right back.
Yeah.
Fucking scored
Utility man.
Scored my goal at Rangers. I've come on at left midfield. Do you know what I mean? It's,
But is it not frustrating when you're getting judged and you're not even playing your proper position?
it's frustrating, but you're playing for the team you support. Would you go and say I want to leave? Aye, exactly. That's the only thing that annoys me. Like people see me as a fullback, and I've never been a fullback. I'm a centre back.
No. Aye, centre back all day, innit?
So if anything, that gives you more respect, the fact that you played where you played for that number of years and played it probably particularly well, and it wasn't really your position, so...
I know, I appreciate that, Kev.
What about your best moment in a Rangers, your Rangers career?
Aye, it's got to be the final, isn't it? The UEFA Cup final.
Aye.
I've never watched it back.
Nah?
Never watched it back. I watched the whole run to the final, never watched the final back.
I think Tomo's been on here before saying you've probably never done yourself justice in the final. Would you go with that?
I would agree with that, aye.
Rangers were poor that night,
they never
didn't they?
You could argue they beat better teams the full sort of run, which you could probably say something like the Rangers team last year. Played Frankfurt in the final. You think like Leipzig and Dortmund. Probably some of that 2008 run.
In terms of the team you went in the final.
I don't think the SFA helped us either.
Eh?
I don't think the SFA
Oh, with the
helped
fixtures.
us.
You played Marvel something like 2 or 3 days before or something like that.
And then we played 2 days after where they did 2 weeks to prepare.
Aye, that's
I find that strange, and I don't know why, because like even like our 2 most like teams that do the best for us, we never seem to want to help them. I don't get that.
See, if you think about it, but right. So see, for the rap that Scottish football gets, we've had 3 European Leagues finalists in what, three times the last 20 years or something.
Yeah.
Celtic 2002, Rangers 2008, and obviously last year.
Yeah.
It's not a bad record, is it?
I never thought another team would get to a European final after us.
Aye. Well, I agree with you. I certainly thought it'd be a lot.
Especially now with the way the Europa League is, the fact that it gives you automatic qualification to the Champions League. So it's
And the way money's got, mate, in other countries. Look at the money all these Prem clubs, or Liga clubs, Italian clubs are getting for TV deals.
That's why if these 2 teams ever get the money the rest get, World football should be afraid, I'm telling you.
Was your dad in that the UEFA Cup final?
Aye.
How was that for him? Busload fair.
For Drungen, aye.
Did it? So what's Drungen, like a scheme?
A village?
Is it right? Is it a shithole?
Aye.
Is it right?
Pretty much, aye.
And would he come and watch every week, your dad?
Aye.
Brilliant,
Aye.
Many tickets did you get for the final? Because tickets, man, must
30.
have 30?
Aye, 30 tickets.
That's decent,
He's
man.
asking for 30 tickets a game for the Broomhill game. Does your dad come to the Broomhill game? Does your dad come to the Broomhill game?
No, he's no fit.
Does he?
He's no fit now.
What about team? Who was your roommate?
Jig for a bit. Boydie.
How was Boydie?
Oh, mate, this guy. What a guy, though. What a character. But then it changed because then Boydie went with Jig. They became really close, and then I got in with Big Laugh.
Oh, that's a bad one as well, isn't it?
He would be eating bars of chocolate this size at 12 o'clock at night.
Would he? What night for a game?
Aye, Celtic at 12 o'clock the next day.
And he'd be smashing a bar.
Bar of chocolate like that, mate.
He was like that till after it, wasn't he?
Aye, pissing in buckets, sitting in people's rooms and champing the door and running.
He was a crackpot, man.
Whose door would get that done to them?
Oh, we would always try and go for Mo for some
Mo
reason.
Headoo?
Aye.
Because American, man.
You always go for the guy that makes it.
American.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, who else would get it? Like, we just used to steal keys and go in and flip all your
Heads upside
heads
down.
and that.
Lafferty, he was a good player, Lafferty, eh?
Aye.
He was, aye. Scored some big goals.
Aye. It was.
I can't believe he's still playing. I remember playing against him when he played for Burnley.
And Burnley, that's right. That was where he
He
was another one that was like Celtic first, wasn't
As
he?
daft as he is, whatever, I played against him 2004 when he was playing for Burnley. So what age of man would he be then?
I think he's only 34 now, Laugh.
Is he?
Aye, he's only 34, aye.
So what's that, 2004? Nah, he was still playing for Burnley at 14.
He's not as old, it's
Oh,
like
wait, 2004.
18 years ago, what would he be, 16?
That'd be 16, aye.
I'm sure he made his debut.
Aye, he was really young.
He was tall and
Aye.
he won everything.
Did you not say you were rolling about with Fergie once, though? Actual fight?
Aye, Blackpool. You weren't there at that point.
How was that? What happened?
I'm sure
so
I
he was a
told this
manager
in the
at
last
He did, you
podcast.
told me,
Aye. No, he was a player, so come in, just, you know what he's like on the pitch, he's just constant. And he's gone and he's gone, I'm like, Fergie, shut the fuck up. He's gone, shut the fuck up. Fergie, man, honestly, you just constant pish for you. Going down the tunnel and I can see him growling, you can feel that burning in the back of your head. He's growling, he's blah, 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 mumbling. I begin to the dressing room and he's just there. I can see him staring.
Oh, that's horrible.
I just turned in and I gave him the wee smirk. I turned into the big gas to like, that's nugget. And the next thing he's up with a boot trying to hit me in the head with it.
I told this story.
A bit.
Do you remember him and Jill? Matt Jilks arguing in the team? Do you know? I
mate.
told that story. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh,
Do
the
you remember?
jokes? No, I remember Matt Jokes.
It was after the game. And I think we'd conceded late or something and we'd lost 2-1 or something like that and we came in. Fergie was gone mental, but Fergie used to be one of them. See if he done well for him, he'd give you a couple of days off.
Right, eh?
But for some reason, Gillo didn't want days off. So Gillo came in, he's like, no, I'll tell you what it is. We're shite and training's shite and we've got days off all the time, training's shite. And Fergie just looked at me, girl went, you're shite! You're shite! And Gillo stood up and went, tell me I'm shite! Tell me I'm shite! Just shouting at each other.
You're shit.
Was he training
That's
shit?
your
Was
manager,
No,
tell
he's
your
training
goal,
shit.
he's
he
shit.
training good Fergie?
Aye,
It's
really
hard,
good.
aye.
Who would take it, him and Bob? Or just Fergie?
No, both.
Him,
aye.
Bob, Malky
Malky Thompson.
Malky Thompson, Malky's a good guy. Was Kenny McDowell at Rangers with you?
Aye,
Good guy, Kenny.
Aye, Kenny's training was hard as well. I take it that's where you get that for.
Aye, Kenny was
Training
my
was so
Resi
hard.
manager. No, I tell you, do you think your training's hard?
Aye.
He's like, you need to calm down the Thursday session.
It's fast paced, mate. It's high intensity, to be fair.
It needs to be, though, doesn't it? They're only training
If you're only twice a week, I'd imagine so, but nah, you're just a crackpot, mate. I've seen a different side to you these last couple of weeks.
But after that, Fergie was like, he's like, I don't care if you've a beer and night out and that. Then we get beat for Leicester, and remember, and we're driving out the road, and we're halfway up
mate.
the M1, and we're like, feel done, boys. And he's like, fuck it, we'll go to Middlesbrough for a night out. The way home, I'm phoning the missus. Gaffer's pulled it in the morning. We're in the morning, I need to go to Blackpool. Up to Middlesbrough, night out. Him and Gaz get lifted. I get one of these sheets saying you're not allowed in the town for 24 hours. Delivered to the house and she opens it. What the hell are you doing in Middlesbrough?
Mate, guys get battered by a police officer and get done with, you get done with assault or something, didn't he? Assaulting a police officer,
why
the
do you
police
get
officer
upset?
battered him.
He's trying to get a policeman after him.
No, what happened? He had my keys for some reason. Remember, Gaz had my keys. So this guy was, the police officer was battering Gaz, and I'm like, Gaz, I need my keys, I need to get in the house. And then they left me because I'm trying to get Gaz off the police
I'm
officer.
locked out the house.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
still
she
not
took
sure
it out
staying
the
at
tin.
night.
So I can't even go to a hotel.
So did you get cells?
We got cells. All I remember for that night was Gaz just shouting the full night in the cells like, mate, we're in for a
He's
race.
a
Just have a
screwball,
sleep.
man.
How did you stay up that year?
I know. Mate, I tell you what,
That'll be why.
we done unbelievable at the end of the season, didn't we?
Don't
Because
know.
Wigan, we either beat Brighton away or drew with Brighton away, who were in the top spots, and then with 2 games to go, Wigan had to win to get playoffs, and we had to win to stay up, and we beat Wigan 2-0 away.
We had a night out with Peterhead. It was Gaz's first night out up there. He just signed for us. So we were out. I'll go up to the bar, get a pint of tenants. Gaz goes up the bar, he's looking. I'm thinking, what's the big man getting? He goes like, give that fucking bottle of whiskey. She's like, what? He's like, full bottle, I'll give you 60 quid. Mate, he just sat in a hotel and fucking spanked a bottle of whiskey. Again, same thing, mate. Chucked at the hotel, police at the hotel the next morning. Can I tell you exactly what he done? But holy fuck, what a guy, man. Never seen somebody drink whiskey like this, mate. Just like that with the bottle, spanking it.
It was a mad 6 months we had
Never
that.
mind, the policeman battered him. He had the big cut here, black
his
eye,
eye
and he's
open
going to hate me the missus. What happened to you?
God.
Can't help it, the game.
Oh, brilliant.
Mad 6 months.
Anything else? Any other questions for the big man?
No, it was a pleasure though. They had the
Who
top
else at
goal scorer
Rotherham then?
football.
Warnock.
Steve Evans.
Oh, no way.
I remember you said
big
that a
Steve.
few weeks ago.
Oh, is it big Steve? Did he? Did he wear mascara? I was convinced.
100%. And Daddy's here.
Mate,
Who was it? Was it
100%.
Steve Evans? Was it thing about
Jason Cummins.
Jason Cummins told me that one of the best stories ever was his training at Rotherham, mate.
What is it? Tell it.
So they just signed him, right? It was Steve Evans, wherever he was. And obviously Cummins, known as a goal scorer, left foot in that, right? So he said the first training session they done finishing, right? So Cummins like, right, left foot, shanks it wide. Again, left foot, blazes it out of the bar. Steve Evans goes, hey son, wait till they see you on your stronger right foot, man. Cummins like, I'm left footed.
Did Cummins not go and style him?
Stayed with
No.
He did, he stayed in his
No,
house.
mate.
Cummins stayed in
Stayed
his
with him for a
house.
month because he's
Did you
obviously
bring it up when he had a shite game of that?
Did he do something
Did
in
he
his
used to bring the
house?
assistant managers up? The assistant manager used to live with him in the house. Forget P1 getting they'd be arguing like that. You're at the house. I pay all the bills. You're not staying with me.
You're at the house.
Swear to God, mate. This guy was a one-off.
Aye. Because his
Cummins not
reputation is
racist.
that you're coming to live with me, I don't touch you, I love you, no. So.
But did Cummins not say he ended up like minding their kids while him and his missus went out for a date?
No, so him, Steve Evans and his missus and kids used to go out like every, say, Sunday night or something like a date, family day or something like that. And he found out Cummins was in a boozer one day, steaming, but he was like causing a ruckus, mate. They were trying to chuck him out of the pub and that. So Steve Evans and the family left their day out to come pick Cummins up. So Cummins is in the back of the motor with the kids, steaming. Go back to the house. Steve Evans is like, I'll talk to you when we get back.
Sensational.
Kids that, man.
Mate, this guy's amazing.
Could he crack after a game?
Oh, mate, aye. He was like one of the big skiers, wasn't he? The ones that jump like that.
Was he?
Yeah!
I seen a picture of him at the weekend, mate. He's massive, him, man.
It was Wembley when he
Yeah,
ran
let's
down. His
start the
trousers, his trousers were falling down at Wembley.
He's running to that like that, isn't
They must have to wait for
What a hero.
the Leeds job, didn't they?
That's
Because they
right.
couldn't get kit to film.
It's right back on now. Have you
Oh,
seen
they
him?
did. Had to wear the Rotherham kit and stitch the Leeds badge and a Kappa badge over it.
Oh my.
Did he ever come for you?
Oh, I came for everything, mate.
Did he? Huh?
Aye. Didn't they let any drop-offs in the bus if you could beat?
What, you would not, no stops?
No stops,
So if
mate.
you're doing south all the way up to Rotherham and no
When
stop?
Wolves not away to Rotherham, there was about 3 drop-offs, so the boys' cars in there. No drop-offs, she's a shite the day. Post in the car, gaffer. Get paid enough, you get a taxi.
I love
Holy
him.
shit.
That's
Mate,
brilliant.
Cummins told me they had a boy that was a pure shite bag, like pure soft when they tackle him doing that. So he got a pro boxer in and made this boy spar the pro boxer. at a boxing session with a pro boxer, mate.
Steve Evans, we need him on as
Aye,
well.
get
He'd be
him on.
brilliant.
He'd be amazing.
Do you still speak to him, brothers?
Text him, aye.
I text him, mate.
Look at the guests we've got lined up now. Neil
Brilliant.
Warnock, Steve Evans.
Have you ever gave a manager a bit back and it's backfired?
Aye, well, me and Steve Evans have went a few times.
So what? Rolling about?
No fighting, no.
Trying to catch you?
Just shouting, you know.
Trying to eat him. He's trying to eat you.
I was a snag.
And who else at Rotherham is? Warnock, Steve Evans,
Neil Redfern,
who was Barnsley.
Alan Stubbs.
Stubbsy, what was he like?
I was only there for 4 weeks.
Oh, so he was, that's right. He
Aye.
went for Hibs to Rotherham, didn't he?
Aye. I don't think he was given enough time.
And then paid Rotherham back to Kelly.
Aye, for Roland to Kelly, aye.
And you loved Steve Clark, as you've said
Steve
before.
Clark was unbelievable.
Best
Jack
you've had?
signed me though.
Oh, Jigget signed you?
Aye.
So he's obviously good mates.
Oh, probably. That's
How was that working? How was that playing under your mate?
Because everybody thought that he signed me because I was his mate, but it wasn't he. Jig signed me as a player and played me in position, but didn't work out that way. I got sent off in the second game, didn't I? Against Hearts, funny enough, for pulling that boy's hair.
Oh, I remember
How
that.
long was Jig manager before he got the?
Jig taken over the season before and kept him up because
That's right.
That's right.
they didn't get to the playoffs.
Aye, didn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
Aye.
So they did. And then he signed all the team really. He signed Stephen O'Donnell, Burkey. Signed good players
Good
in
players,
there. And
aye.
then obviously he left and Steve Clark come in.
Could you tell Steve Clark was brilliant straight away?
Aye. Amazing.
But just the standards and that he
Aye.
demanded?
He had the presence. He come in and he just did that presence. So he did, and his training's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's
Are you
up
and
there.
him still tight? Would you speak to him now?
I could text him and he'd get back to you, aye. It's great that way. You send you anything to do with coaching and all that. He says there's books there anytime you need it.
Fucking get him for me, mate.
You're doing alright, yeah?
Yeah, get him everybody else's fucking book.
He never shouted though, at the sideline.
Who's did he know that?
Not as
Never-
bad as you, mate.
No, I need to stop, man. That's a promise. I'm going to tell the boys tomorrow that stops now.
Aye. That was top
Wait,
today,
wait,
boys.
stop.
Till Saturday.
You guys stop shouting.
For the
No
start.
chance.
No chance.
Yours will be good, mate. Been a pleasure to watch.
Brilliant,
Well
lads.
done,
Thanks very
Chris.
much.